very interesting to hear Honorable Member speak about double-engine Sarkar, and that it's not constitutionally envisaged, and you are trying to make sure by doing this, for those states which are not double-engine, it is becoming trouble-engine. He said that. So I just want to highlight how trouble engines work. Sir, when the central government was with the UPA and the party to which Honorable Manoj Jha belongs to, between 2004 and 14, the deliberate way in which many states were put to difficulty are so many that your words of troublemaking or trouble engine, not double engine, are so true. Trouble engines were then and not now. Trouble engine, Sardar Sarovar Dam, sir. The plan was made in 1979. The construction began in 87. And the Honorable Chief Minister, now the Honorable Prime Minister, was begging with the central government, saying, let this get completed because the state is a semi-arid state. The Gujarat water table was going down, and measures taken by Honorable Chief Minister then was trying to help farmers. But Sardar Sarovar, every trick in the bag was used to delay the project. And I'm now quoting from Honorable PM's speech in 2013 and again in 2017. The UPA government was the troublemaker for Sardar Sarovar Dam. And it did not give the necessary clearances and used every trick in the book to delay the project, just for settling political scores. Gates of Sardar Sarovar Dam was not allowed to be installed despite repeated requests. That's trouble engine, you know, Manoj Jha ji. Again, sir, UPA government did not approve the Taranga Ambaji Abu Railway Road, Taranga Ambaji Abu Road Railways line. And that's been waiting for a long time. Why shouldn't people vote for double engines, sir? If this is the kind of trouble engines create, and that trouble engine is not here. It was there. You were a partner to it. Similarly, sir, Gujarat government's gas pipeline and gas distribution projects. The network was laid at the state's own expenditure, but it cannot be completed, nor was gas connection or gas to be received from the port to be given through the network. And that was also a tweet and a blog which Honorable Prime Minister now and the Chief Minister then had written in 2013. So these are instances, and much more than that, sir. Honorable Member John Brittas also speaks about center-state relationship. He belongs to a party which became a victim of the trouble engine, even in 1959. The misuse of 356, the misuse of Article, even now, I'm glad to hear, but you are very cohabiting comfortable with them. Sir, Article 356. You are against? Oh, really? Oh. Because I see quite a lot of friendly matches happening between the two. Sir, Article 356, the misuse of it began in 1959 when EMS Namboodiripad government was thrown out, saying, law and order, you get out. Sir, August 1984, Governor Ramlal dismissed N.T. Ramarao's government in TDP government in Andhra Pradesh. And similarly, sir, many such. In 16 years of her power, Srimati Indira Gandhi misused Article 356 50 times. 50 times, 50 times.
Tamil Nadu government also dismissed MGR government.
Yes, MGR government, also the DMK government.
Yeah.
Post-emergency, DMK government also was dismissed. So, misuse of Article 356, central state federalism relationship, both RJD and CPM should now stand up and say, was it better? Trouble making, trouble engine. Where is the trouble engine? So, let's be sure that double engine works. Trouble engine is the one which did all this for us. Please. Sir, also, also, Honorable Member Manoj Jha said, like many others who said, sir, that the government is working only for the corporates and not for the Aam Aadmi. I just want to highlight and thank Honorable Member Ajay Pratap Singh. I can't say, he's here. He started listing out, saying, is this for the corporates? Is this for the corporates? He was right. Our government, sir, works on the development of all and appeasement for none principle. Our principle is that. Development for sabka saath, sabka vikas. There is no appeasement. And therefore, when you have Jandan Yojana, is it going for the corporates? Jam Trinity went for the corporates? PM Ayushman Bharat, does it go for the corporates? Ujjwala, does it go for the corporates? Ujala, does it go for the corporates? Krishi Sinchai Yojana, Fasal Bima Yojana, do they go for? And this subsidy, this supplementary demand for grants asking money for fertilizer, does the fertilizer go for the corporates?
It's for the House to decide whether this is the right path to take or the wrong path to take. The corporates contributed 34% of gross tax revenue. Today, the corporates are contributing 26% of gross tax revenue. Why has this great benefit been conferred to the corporates that they contribute 8% less of the gross tax revenue? Who's contributing the others? The rest. The rest is contributed by income taxpayers, middle class, upper middle class, other income taxpayers, excise payers or GST payers, which is you and I, customs duty, which is passed on to the common people, cesses, taxes on petrol and diesel. That accounts today for 74%. Corporates are only contributing 26%. 9 years ago, corporates were contributing 34%. It is because this government has conferred a huge bounty on bonanza on corporates. Is that fair or not fair is for the House to decide. And after conferring this bounty, I hear the Honorable Finance Minister go to the FICCI, go to CII, go to Chambers of Commerce and say, please invest. Why are you not investing? In fact, in one meeting, I saw her say quite legitimately, sort of mildly scolding them for not investing. If God is in his heaven, the BJP is in power, and everything is hunky-dory, and the climate is extremely propitiate for investment, why, despite conferring a huge bonanza on the corporate sector, why are they not investing? That's my question. Why are they not investing? Private investment is low, sluggish. Why are they not investing? If all is well, according to the government, why is the private sector not investing? Despite conferring an 8% bounty on the corporate sector. You know what this 8% means, sir? 8% of 27 crore will be almost 1% is 10% is 2.7 lakh crore. 8% will be about 2.5 lakh crore. 2.5 lakh crore is the bonanza conferred on the corporate sector, yet they are not investing. My question is, why? And I want an answer so that we can be enlightened why the private sector is not investing. My fourth point is, in 1990-91, GDP at constant prices was about 25 lakh crore. That is when, after that, liberalization started. In 12 years, this GDP doubled to 50 lakh crore. In 10 years, it doubled again to 98, 99 lakh crore. So the first time the GDP doubled was, it took 12 to 13 years. Second time, 10 years, it doubled. Now, technically, therefore, one would expect, and this is a fair expectation, a government that has been in power for nearly 9 years should double the GDP in 10 years. If we are able to double the GDP in difficult times, 91 to 2003-04, that period is attributable to Mr. Narasimha Rao's stewardship and Mr. Vajpayee's stewardship. And then we were able to double it again in 10 years under Dr. Manmohan Singh's leadership. This government should double it again in 10 years.
So, it's very easy, sir, to, चमत्कार से ये सब बात बोलना आसान है, मगर housing for all, 80 crore people get free food grains. Is that going to your corporate friends, to whom both the Congress party and later the communists as well don't want to take any action? One port was given on a platter to one of the big A's, which gets quoted to us very often. They invited them saying, come, develop this port. Okay, that was Congress. Afterwards, the communists came. They didn't take it back. You want those corporates when you want that port to be developed, both Congress and communists. Friendly match, John Britas.
Please take your seat. No, sir. No, wait, I know how to, please, go ahead.
Sir, so when we do it, it's wrong. I'm glad to hear John Britas say that, sir.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir. I'm very glad. Is there anything wrong with that? Yes. So when you have projects which are through an open, transparent tender process going to a particular corporate, we doing it will become, oh, you're giving it only to Ambanis and Adanis, whereas they invited on a platter, come and develop my Virinjam port.
Honorable Minister.
And in Rajasthan, sir, Honorable Chair, Rajasthan has given lands to one of the big corporates. Was that? And there are other states also like that. So corporates is only a pet, bait which they like to throw. But when they do it, it's all chup chap. At that time, the friendly match between Congress and communists will go on. Yes, it will go on. Sir, also,
Please.
also, sir, so, sir, inflation is a daylight robbery.
One second.
Huh? Sir, every state is with some inflation number or the other. Nowadays, you get it even for states, sir. So I just want to know, is daylight robbery also happening in Kerala, where CPI latest is 5.9%? Inflation is daylight robbery. Is it happening there also?
If 100 lakh crore should have become 200 lakh crore or should become 200 lakh crore in 23-24 when this government completes 10 years of government, will it complete 200 lakh crore? Where is the debate on the issues that we raise? Where are the answers to the questions that we ask? I would humbly request you to make a note of the issues that we raise, the questions that we ask, and please ensure that those from the Treasury benches or the Honourable Minister deals with those issues and deals with those questions. If the growth is 11.1% in current prices or nominal growth, I have only two small questions. What will be the inflation rate and what will be the real? When this government came into office in the previous year, 2013-14, the gross tax revenue was 11,55,838 crore, of which corporate tax was 3,93,677 crore. As a proportion, corporate tax in the gross tax revenue was 34%. Now, what does this mean? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm simply giving the numbers, the growths.
There were discussions on malnutrition. Honorable Member Ami Yagnik, with whom I've had from before the time when BJP came to power, a lot of interaction in television debates. I respect her for the dedication with which she does her business. I just want to highlight so on malnutrition and also people coming down below the poverty line, the UNDP MPI 2022 report notes that nationally, the relative reduction from 2015-16 to 2019-21 has been faster. 11.9% a year compared to 8.1% from 2005-6 to 2015-16. So in that period, the reduction was 8.1, now in 15-16 to 19-21, the reduction is 11.9%, sir. And this is UNDP saying it. The policies have shaped the Antyodaya principle, shaped around the Antyodaya principle, and as a result, countless flagship schemes, and also the food security, for which the supplementary demand comes up with a demand for funding the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, are very clearly indicative that food is reaching the common people, particularly in difficult times like COVID. So I just want to highlight that point which Honorable Member Yagnik raised. And also, food subsidy in 2013-14 was 92,000 crores only. Whereas in BE 22-23, sir, we have provided for 2,06,831.09 crores. So we are taking the nutrition and food security of people very seriously, and that is why. And after the this supplementary demand, the allocation would go up to more than 2.8 lakh crores for the year 2022-23. So we didn't allocate it at the beginning, but we have not hesitated to add now, just to ensure that food security is being kept in mind. Sir, Honorable Member Manoj Jha, you obviously referred yesterday saying the two of you all are from the same university, so there should be some camaraderie. I just want to highlight, sir, it was very interesting to hear Honorable Member speak about double-engine Sarkar, and that it's not constitutionally envisaged, and you are trying to make sure by doing this, for those states which are not double-engine, it is becoming trouble engine. He said that. So I just want to highlight how trouble engines work. Sir, when the central government was with the UPA and the party to which Honorable Manoj Jha belongs to, between 2004 and 14, the deliberate way in which many states were put to difficulty are so many that your words of troublemaking or trouble engine, not double engine, are so true. Trouble engines were then and not now. Trouble engine, Sardar Sarovar Dam, sir.
You are creating more buffer zones. What does a buffer zone mean? According to our information, a buffer zone means there will be a no petrol area. China will not petrol. India will not petrol. Does it mean that we are no longer petroling? This is a supplementary demand. Modi ji, you were 13 years finance minister. I can speak on any subject when the demand is there for money. You know the rule.
Difference we want.
I want to know.
I'm sure anything and everything does not include anything and everything.
I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm asking questions.
No, I'll make only one suggestion. During your long career, you have had the occasion to hold very high positions. And by virtue of that situation, you are well in the know of governance issues. Any diversion
I'm not
or
diverting
even
the subject.
even
I'm asking
settling-
on strategic
I'm
and
sure
strategic
you-
border roads.
No. As long as it was on that,
That's all
it
I'm
was
speaking.
fine.
That's
It-
all.
Sir, it went little beyond.
That's all I'm speaking on. That's all I'm speaking. Pointed questions. Pointed questions. Only on that point. Does it mean that we are no longer petroling in areas where we were petroling? Number four. I'm not yielding. Number four, the US Defense Department spokesman has said, and our spokesman have also said, that there is massive building of infrastructure on the other side of the LAC, and equally our government is also building massive infrastructure on the other side. Now, what is this infrastructure on the other side? I don't want you to tell me what is the infrastructure on our side. That may be a defense secret. But what is the infrastructure that they are building on the other side? That your satellites will be capturing pictures. We know that they have built roads, bridges, settlements, helipads, communications. Now, please tell us, what is the massive infrastructure that China is building? And I don't want you to tell us what is the equally matching infrastructure that you're building on our side. I don't want you to tell us that. And finally, I saw a video clip and I was quite happy of the Honorable Prime Minister meeting the President of China at Bali, and they were shaking hands. I'm
Point of order.
Can I have the mic on, sir?
Point of order.
Rule number 110 under legislation scope of debate. The discussion on a motion that the bill be passed shall be confined to the submission of arguments either in support of the bill or for rejection of the bill. In making his speech, a member shall not refer to the details.
So the nominal GDP growth projection at 11.1% was done in January 2022. And post that, in fact, even as we were preparing for this, the budget, February 2022, there was overall and across the globe a clear understanding that the pandemic is waning. Measures of recovery taken by different governments, different countries are all probably impacting, and therefore there was a road to recovery and a good road to recovery. So if we came up with 11.1%, the IMF, for instance, which came with a report in 2022, updated the World Economic Outlook and also projected that Indian economy will grow at a high rate of 9%. So the situation then, not just within India, but globally, also indicated that the pandemic was waning and there was every chance of recovery for everybody in full strength. But then came late February, the Russia-Ukraine war, and the complete disruption in supply chains, particularly for food and energy, all of which has led to countries looking at ways in which they had to give a greater push towards growth and recovery. And therefore, today the situation is we have come up with a supplementary demand for grants, which are essentially for ensuring that there's food security. There's also enough to be given for fertilizers, which is so critical for our farmers. And therefore, the items under which we have come with the supplementary demand all are in the direction of ensuring that the Indian economy, particularly the poor, the farmers, and so on, are given enough support. So this is essentially a budget with supplementary demand which keeps the necessary support which has to be given for those who need it. And therefore, I'm sure, I've heard many people say that they don't disagree with the supplementary demand and they are fully in support of it. I'm very grateful for that support. But the apprehensions people have in their mind that this was because you couldn't estimate it earlier and rightly earlier and therefore you're coming with a correction is not well founded at all. Situations have developed in such a way post the war and post the disruptions which have been happening till recently also, we needed this additional support to be extended. So former finance minister who opened the debate actually spoke about various specific issues and raised probably 5 + 1 or 6 issues in total. But where he speaks about where are you going to raise this 3.25 lakh crores, which is what is mentioned in the supplementary demand. And he also questioned saying, are you going to borrow, or are you going to raise revenue, or what is it? Please let us know. Sir, in September itself, Government of India has made it very clear that we are not changing our borrowing schedule, which gets announced. And in September, we announced for the second half year. We have not changed our borrowing plans, which means we are very clear that we are going to see that the revenue that we are generating is sufficient to take care of this additional. Because, for instance, sir, during the first 7 months, April to October, of the current FY, gross tax receipts have registered a growth of about 18% over the previous year, actual for that period. This is substantially higher, sir, than the budget growth of 9.6 over RE of last year. So there's enough buoyancy which gives me the confidence that we will be able to fund this supplementary that we have come up with the demands. And that is reiterated and reinforced by the fact that even in September, we have given no changes to the borrowing calendar and announced it as well. So also, the question was raised about written
I want to know, did they discuss China? Why is there such a reluctance to say, did the Honorable Prime Minister discuss, yes or no, got an opportunity to discuss China with President
I am
Xi?
on a different point.
Answer is yes or no. Answer is yes or no. That's all.
One second.
We have a right to know. We have a right to know. We have a right to know, sir. What are they hiding? What are they hiding from the country? We have a right to know. Whether our Prime Minister did raise the Chinese border issue or not, we have a right to know.
Let him speak out. He is already speaking.
He is not being allowed to speak.
Come on, settle down, settle down. Settle down.
From here.
I don't want to know, sir,
Settle down.
I don't wish to know
Settle down,
what he
settle
said.
down, settle
I
down,
don't
please.
wish to know the details of his conversation.
When they disturb our speaker, you don't tell them. You should tell them also.
You are casting aspersions on the
You should
chair.
tell them also.
You are casting aspersions on the chair.
We are not casting
one
any
second, one
aspersions.
second.
Your speaker, sir.
1 second. The honorable member repeatedly cast aspersions on the chair.
No, I'm not
This
casting
has to,
aspersions,
please
sir,
take your seat.
But no,
Take your seat, take your seat.
One second, sir. One second.
Take your seat.
One second, sir. One second.
Take your seat.
One second, sir.
No, take your seat. Take your seat. First take your
When
seat.
they are disturbing, they should also be asked to keep quiet, sir.
First, take your seat.
It's all right.
You directly made an allegation against the
No
chair
allegation, sir. No
that
allegation.
the chair is not controlling
They are
them.
disturbing, sir.
Number
They are
one.
disturbing
Number
our
two,
speaker, sir.
Mr. Pchithambaram, you have a long parliamentary career. I request you that the document to which you have made reference and the document which you have sought to describe, the video, that may be placed on the table of the House.
This is a public, in the public domain. This is the public. Sir, just a moment. Sir, forget the video. Forget
No, why
the video.
forget? You have made a reference, it is on record.
Forget the video.
No,
we
no.
know,
No,
we
no.
know that
You know the
Honorable
parliamentary
Prime
practice.
Minister met President Xi in Bali. I only want to know a simple question. Did they have an opportunity to discuss China? That's all. What is, there is no document there. There's no document there. We know that President Xi was there. We know Honorable Prime Minister was there. We know that they met in Bali. All I want to know is, did they get an opportunity? Did they get an opportunity to discuss China? Answer is yes or no. That's all. I'm not asking anything. So let me conclude. So I have raised in your absence, when the Deputy Chairman was occupying the chair, 5 questions, and I was waiting for you to come to raise this 6th question. I am, my time. No time, sir. My time. Is he giving a ruling now? Is he giving a ruling now?
One second. Please take your seat. 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 Everyone must be on the seat. Please take your seat. Take your seat.
Sir, therefore,
Now, one second.
I'm concluding.
Before you conclude. Before you conclude.
I'm concluding.
One second.
I'm concluding now.
Take your seat. Take it. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take it. Honorable members, it is very painful. Every time we send a signal from the upper house, that generates disillusionment. People are worried. Is it the way the upper house should be conducting itself? Are we going to send such kind of signals? And I am little surprised the kind of body language aggression I have to face. That is not the style of anyone else. We don't have to act in group. We don't have to be on our feet. I try to accommodate everyone with whatever one has to say. If I have used my authority to issue a direction, that is based on my long experience. I was involved with parliamentary affairs 3 decades ago. This is the wholesome practice. If an honorable member has chosen to make reference to a document, the chair is well within its rights to direct the member to place that document on the table of the House. And that for a simple reason, that members are entitled to analyze it, assess it, and then take it forward. I am sure the honorable member will keep that in mind and do it during the course of the proceedings today. Please continue.
Sir, Therefore, I sincerely hope that, although this House can only recommend on a supplementary demand and an appropriation bill, since a large amount of 3,25,756 crore, we don't grudge if it's for relevant expenditure. We are granting this amount. I would sincerely hope that the government's treasury benches and the Honorable Finance Minister will enlighten us on the questions that I've raised. Yes. Otherwise, as that famous saying is, we are in the same advanced stage of wisdom at the end of the debate as we were when we began the debate. Thank you. Very good.
And I was listening to you in my chamber, so I am fully updated with the other issues also. Shri Sushil Kumar Modi. Shri Sushil Kumar Modi.
238.5. Sir, 238.5. Reflect upon.
Sushil Kumar Modi. Sushil Kumar Modi.
Sir, this is 238.5, sir.
It is a daylight robbery.
One second.
Huh? Sir, every state is with some inflation number or the other. Nowadays you get it even for states, sir. So I just want to know, is daylight robbery also happening in Kerala, where CPI latest is 5.9%, inflation is daylight robbery? Is it happening there also?
It's the lowest in Kerala.
Mr. John Bitta.
So it's not lowest.
Please,
National average is lowest.
Please.
National average is lowest, sir. It's not low in your state. 8. So, sir, also, sir, Honorable Member Dola Sen spoke about BSNL. She's not here. If I should expand, there are other members of our party here. BSNL has not been taken care of. I just want to give two numbers and leave it, although I wanted to expand, but I wouldn't in the time being what it is. Sir, cabinet approval for revival of BSNL in 2019 gave 54,021 crores, and that's for pensionary benefit, which is spread over 10 years, ex gratia, capital infusion for 4G, grant for GST for 4G spectrum. That 4G which the UPA hadn't given. So, BSNL and MTNL, 54,021 crores in 2019. 2022, sir, 1,23,757 crores is what the cabinet's approval is for BSNL. And what is it for? AGR dues of BSNL amounting to 33,000 crores and odd, reissue of 9% non-cumulative preference shares, allotment of 900 and 1,800 megahertz spectrum, which later on can also be helpful for 5G, then restructuring and operational integration, capex requirement and compensation to BSNL for unviable rural wireline services. So BSNL is being taken care of, not just in 1 year, not just for one head, but overall revival of BSNL. Sir, I've also heard, sir, a lot of people saying, oh, you can't harass, the point which both Manoj Jha and John Rittas made, later on member Priyanka Chaturvedi also made. 28, that you're using ED to oppress opposition parties and you're not able to. No, sir. Law enforcement agencies, it's a different thing that if your party is not able to hold your own flock together, it's a different story. Don't blame the ED or anybody else. But ED, sir, I'm showing this deliberately, sir. If this is the kind of evidence you see, which is reported in the media, what are we talking about? Cash found in a minister's house.
You said
I'll verify it and leave it on the table, sir.
Please, put it on.
I will authenticate it and leave it on the table. Yes,
Please
I'm conscious of what the rules
authenticate.
that the chairman says.
Honorable
I will
Minister.
authenticate it and leave it on the table.
Honorable Minister.
But with this kind of evidence,
Honorable Minister, please authenticate the document and leave it on the table.
absolutely, I will do that.
And I have issued, one second, Mr. Vikas Bhatt, and I have already given directions to some members to do similarly. I hope they do it. Please.